There's a huge population of active duty military members and veterans that have a hard time finding the resources they need on various government websites. Today's guest has created the perfect solution to that problem for the sake of millions of other veterans before and after him. Retired Major Eric King's story is incredible because he was able to turn his most devastating moments into an unmatched obsession with helping veterans gain access to the healthcare, employment, and other resources required to assimilate back into civilian life. He's the CEO of the nonprofit organization Vets What's Next, and he's created an app and website that is geared to help transitioning veterans around the world easily find the resources they need throughout their lives. I'm excited to share the inspirational conversation I had with the U.S. Army veteran, retired Major Eric King. Eric King, great to have you on the Night's Tale podcast. How you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, and I want to thank you for inviting me onto your show to talk about Best What's Next and just be a part of the wonderful things that you're doing for each and everybody that you're reaching out to. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So one of the things that we're doing now with the Night Cell podcast is we're figuring out exactly what it takes to help transitioning military veterans and transitioning professionals, period, become successful. And it really takes a lot of thought, planning, and effort in order to really execute a successful vision. And we're going to do that by highlighting what we call the military veteran blueprint, the MVB. So, Eric, can you talk to us a little bit about what your MVB is? How'd you get in the military? How'd you get out? What was your transition strategy? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. Great question. So I joined the military back in 2000 is when I left and went off to basic training.
Mm-hmm.
But prior to going to basic training, my first daughter was conceived. My first and only daughter, Jadis, was conceived.
Mm.
And after her being conceived, I said to myself, what am I going to do to support this new life that I'm about to have this responsibility for? And just so happened a commercial came up recruiting about joining the Army.
Wow.
And I literally picked up the phone and called a recruiter while that commercial was playing. And the recruiter said, "Come on down," as if I was on Price is Right. No, real talk. And I went down and I signed up and I said, I don't care. At that time, I didn't know about anything about the military, how I was even set up. I'm a first generation military vet. So I didn't know anything about the military. And I was 19 at the time. And I said, hey, I don't care what you sign me up for, what I qualify for. I just need to be in the military. I heard about your benefits. I need to take care of this new life of mine that I'm about to have. And there I was. I joined and I started off as a combat engineer. I was National Guard as well as going to college at the same time at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. And after going to the basic training, I knew then that what I wanted to do with the military was a little bit more than, how can I put it, the experience I got in basic training, if I could say. And I said, I think I want to commission and be an officer and see what that's like.
Right.
And so while being in college, I joined the ROTC program. And as I graduated college, I commissioned. And I commissioned in 2003 as on active duty. And I was a infantry officer going into active duty. I was branch detail for that. And I did infantry for quite a few years. I served as an infantry platoon leader over in Iraq. I served as a company commander over in Iraq. During those times, I was also injured over in Iraq. And then I switched over to logistics as that was my main functional area for the military after my infantry time. And I did that for a few years. And with the injuries that I sustained over in Iraq, the Army got to the point of my 15th year, going into my 16th year, that I was unfit to continue to serve due to the injuries I sustained. And what that was is a traumatic brain injury from a IED attack from a
Oh,
mission.
wow.
We were ambushed. My vehicle was struck. So I got TBI from that. From there were residuals, injuries such as now I have a seizure disorder that came from the traumatic brain injury that I live with. I also have, migraines that I live with. I have PTSD that I live with, and other things that came from behind, just doing what I love to do best, and
Mm.
that was serving my country. So after going through my treatments, my recovery, and everything, even just trying to navigate through that and beginning to go through that transition of no longer being a part of the military. Even to the point that, it's not even like turning on the light and turning off the light. It's not
Right.
switching your ball cap from the front to the back. It's a major transition, I'm sure, as you know, from serving in the Navy and others who have served. It's not easy trying to figure out where you fit in as a civilian.
Right.
Going through all of those things and dealing with PTSD, uh, I was even on the verge of committing suicide. That I said I cannot do this because of the flashbacks, because of the soldiers that were lost under my command and injured, and the loss of limbs. Dealing
Mm.
with that in my sleep, having the nightmares, and not just being guarded. I want to do anything because I
Mm.
felt like once I took off the uniform, the uniform was my armor. Being in the military was my protection,
Right.
and being a civilian, I'm trying to figure out how can I now be a protector for my family, for my children, and I just found myself not knowing how to figure that out, and it was because of my son that I'm even able to have this podcast or be on your podcast today because
Mm.
um, he walked in and saved my life. I was at home by
Mm.
myself, and what brought them home at that instant was nothing but God, a higher power.
Wow.
Because that higher power must knew that there was something else in store for me to do outside of the military. And as I figured that out, and I'm sitting in bed, and I say to myself, no longer Major King, it's just Eric. What's next for you? What are you going to do? What can you do that's going to be impactful? What can you do for your family? Because they need you. Your children need you. People need you.
Right.
And I said, what's next for me? Then I also said, it's not just about what's next for me, because I'm not a selfish person. I said, what's next for all of those veterans who are going through what I'm going through, who have gone through what I have gone through, and those who will experience and go through what I have just went through and what I'm going through today and tomorrow and the day after. And I said,
Mm.
I have to reclaim my life because there is life after military. And I then said, vets, what's next? What is next for us vets? And that is how Vets What's Next were derived. It came from what was next for me and all of those that I can help. And I sat there, I started putting things together. And as I was navigating through all the different benefits and services and resource and all those things that were for me and my family, I said, this is crazy that you have to go all over the place to do this. And I said, I know I can put all this in one centralized location that can make it easy to navigate through. And that is, I was successful in the military, man. I did that easy. If people read my bio that's on the website, or they just Google Major Eric King, you will be able to see my story, read my story, see my accomplishments, see the awards, the number of Bronze Stars, etc. The military was easy for me because that was my craft, man. That was easy for me, and I did it because I want to make so many who look up to me proud. I want to serve the American people. You know, I want to do what I can do to leave something behind to say, hey, I did that. My children and others can say he served this country. But now being out of the military, you know, it's so much bigger. You know, I say I want to leave an impact, not just serving my country, because I volunteered, you know, to do that. And I'm like, now I want to do something where I'm not looking uh, to have to do what I am told to do by giving a mission, by giving orders, by
Mm-hmm.
being at the right place at the right time in uniform. I'm like, now I want to do something where it's just me doing it. And that is my blueprint of just doing what I want to wake up and do to get out and serve veterans, service members, their families, and all those who are thinking about even joining the military, those who have relatives who have been in the military, served in the military, and they don't know what to do if they are providing some type of help or support or care to a veteran. They don't know what to do. Well, they go to vetswhatsnext.org, you know, all that information that I was just talking about as far as the resources, the benefits, the discounts, the jobs, and so much more, they can go and get it in one centralized location. The one-stop shop, the hub to all those benefits. And again, you know, that's my blueprint uh, for my success, and for me wanting to just do what I'm doing, and it's to also encourage others that when you get out the military, or hell, while you still serving in the military, you can be just as great.
Right.
Continue to serve others outside of the uniform, even while wearing the uniform. But once you get out, there's so much more you can do. And I want to encourage the millennial vets, the Gen X vets, you know, as Apple just approved my app and Google Play Store has approved my app, that you can be creative and you can put your ideas into a mobile app that can be a service to
Right.
so, because they are so creative, you know, and you can be an entrepreneur. You can do for yourself, and you can take care of others, and you can inspire to build that generational wealth that we all want to have and leave behind a legacy for your families and the ones that you love.
Wow, that is incredible. I mean, I'm speechless. Um, there's so much power in your story, and I really appreciate the fact that you took the time to really tell us that in such a short amount of time. And it seems like you've actually attached yourself to your purpose by thinking of something bigger than yourself. Could you talk about the
Yes,
importance? Yeah, could you talk about the importance of having a purpose that's bigger than you, and how that's driving you today?
absolutely. I had to, as I saw myself trying to figure out what was next for me, I reflected back on one of many as I was serving over in Iraq of an attack, and I was a company commander at the time, and I told a specific platoon that they would be going out on the mission. We were all dog tired, and a PL said, a platoon leader said, "Sure, my guys, we can't go out. We're tired." I said, "Well, LT, we're all tired, but your
Mm,
platoon is the most refreshed platoon out of all the platoons. So you're going to go out on the
mm,
mission, and I'm going to go out with you." And we went out, conducted our mission, but on our way back, um, we got attacked. We got ambushed,
mm,
and things went from there. But as we were rendering aid to the wounded, and I'm putting a particular uh, injured soldier in the back of a vehicle, the soldier said to me, "Excuse me," because it touches me just when I think about it.
no.
Um, he said to me, he said, "Sir, this is all your fault. Um, we shouldn't have been out here." And I said to him, I said, I take the blame. I take it. You know, put what you're feeling right now on me. Let me take this pain from you. Let me take this pain from you as we put you in the back of this vehicle. But don't worry about that. You worry about yourself, and you're gonna be okay. And I said to myself, man, is he right? Should we have taken a different route? Should we had, you know, went out later or left sooner? So many things was going through my head, but I knew at that time that soldier was scared and fighting for his life because he did not know what was about to be next for him at that time.
Mm.
And, I took that and I lived with that for so many years. And I said, I don't want anybody else to ever say that I was responsible for something else. But as I went through my counseling and everything, and, I had to let that guard down. And I said, I can't take the blame for something that was going to happen. And so I took that and I started going with it. And I said, how can I be a purpose to others who are going through something just as deep? And I said, being there for them. And if I have to be an outlet, if I have to set up something for them to have an outlet to vent, or if they can get something out that they are feeling, go through me, contact me, go through Vets What's Next. Let's talk to others. Allow me to help you get you in the right place so you can get the help that you need. And
Right.
that is what I want to do. I want to serve a purpose that if people need to go through me to get the help that they need, come through me.
Mm.
Because this life that I'm living, this vessel that I'm in is just that. I don't own this body of mine.
Mm.
And I want to serve a purpose for God. I want to serve a purpose to help many others who are going through things. And I just want to serve the people. I want to serve the soldiers, their families, their American people. And just looking out for self isn't what God has me on this earth to do. So for anybody who is trying to figure out how can I help, you can help by putting self aside and putting others in front. When you start thinking about others, when you start saying, what can I do to leave an impact for just one? Well, it's gonna multiply, and you're gonna touch more than just one, and you're gonna serve a multitude of many, the masses. And when you leave this precious earth, that body, that vessel may be gone, but what you set in place to help others will live on, and you will still make an impact and change the lives of many. And that's
Wow.
why it's so important to me to just serve a purpose and
Eh,
live this good life and figure things out as you go along.
Wow, that's really incredible. Wow. Uh, it's hard for me to ask, any more questions, to be honest with you. But one thing that I would like to talk about is Vets What's Next. You talk about how Vets What's Next is an incredible resource. And I've been to the website. It's a beautiful website. It is incredibly user friendly. So it's easy to follow. When you go to the VA's website, it's kind of hard. Like there's all these tabs and links to things,
Yes,
and you don't even know how to find what you need to find. And you kind of get discouraged and it takes you days to figure out where you need to be, or which part of the site you need to go to find the thing you need. Um,
yes,
and if you call the number, it's going to take you like an hour to get to someone. So Vets What's Next is one of those resources that you can use. I mean, if you need anything, if you need
yeah,
a job, if you need medical resources, if you need anything, um, and cool hoodies.
yeah.
So, could you talk a little bit about Vets What's Next and the plans that you have for it going forward?
Yes, yes. Well, Best What's Next is all about empowering and helping disabled veterans, homeless veterans, service members, and their families by providing services and resources, benefits, and so much more that will allow them to reclaim their lives and their economic stability. These services are offered through the www.bestwhatsnext.org website, my upcoming mobile app that I'll be launching on the 25th of February in urban Las Colinas, Texas, at Borna Brasa Brazilian restaurant. We're going to have a charity a charity fundraiser event there, and I will also be launching the mobile app. And eventually, man, we're going to have a brick and mortar outreach center that all these services that are offered in my website and in the mobile app will be offered at my brick and mortar outreach center, along with so many other services. And lastly, Best What's Next is a nonprofit 501c3 organization. And our plans is to give back as we are doing through donations, by facilitating, assisting, and helping our homeless veterans in the local area. And we wanted to spread out across the world, as every year, starting last year, our first initiative, we do a hoodie sweater drive where we go out and we give gift wrapped hoodies, the Best What's Next served hoodies. We give
Nice.
those to homeless veterans. And we also go out to the nursing homes of veteran centers, and we give out hoodies to them as well. And we're also launching the Best What's Next Higher Scholarship Education Foundation, where we would give out scholarships to disabled veterans, dependents who are enrolling their 12th grade year into college or already in college, whether it's a community college or university, but it has to be in an accredited school, a 2 or 4 year school. So for fall and spring, they can apply for a scholarship. Well, it will be awarded for $1,500. Meet those guideline requirements to make them eligible for that scholarship. And we're also looking to partnership with others that are beneficial for our veteran outreach initiative. So there's a lot of great, cool things that Best What's Next is doing. And again, the sole purpose for Best What's Next, the website and the mobile app, is to, again, be the one-stop shop for all these services. So for those veterans who are getting ready to transition out of the military and they're trying to figure out what's next for them as they begin their transition, well, they got a website they can go to, or they can download the mobile app, and they can begin planning out their journey for them as they figure out what's next for them, their families, and any and everything else that they are focusing on at that time. Because as you know, transitioning out of the military can be difficult and it can be challenging. You're trying to figure out
Right.
where you're going to work, where you're going to live, where you're going to relocate, how you're going to take care of your families, what about your
Right.
benefits. And there are so many veterans, young veterans, millennial vets, Gen X vets who get out of the military, and a lot of them don't even know that they are entitled to health care for life, you know? And if they go to Best What's Next or they download the mobile app, I have videos that give them a hand-by-hand, step-by-step process that 180 days prior to getting out of the military, you can start your pre-claim disability filing. That once you get out of the military on the Monday, on that Tuesday, your benefits are already there. You possibly have already qualified for VA compensation based off whatever your rating would be, and you have monies that are due to you. And there are so many other programs that they can qualify for, and for their children to go to college, and their spouses can be able to go to college. And we just want to provide that platform to even allow outside agencies who provide and render services to veterans. And veterans just don't know about these great Americans who have all these beautiful facilities, businesses, companies, and agencies that provide services to us. Well, they can advertise those services right through Best What's Next, and it
Right.
can pop up, and a service member or their family member can get that advertisement, click on it, and go to them and start receiving that services from them all over the globe. So Best What's Next tailored to everybody across the globe, because we have services for service members and veterans across not only just the United States, but also international. And Best What's Next can provide their services for them.
That's incredible. And that's a great service for, when you have 200,000 people transitioning out of the military every single year. It feels like even though there's that many people getting out every year, it feels like such a lonely journey, because nobody really knows exactly what to do unless, you're going to go work at your parents' business or something like that. Or,
Correct.
but most people really don't know where to go, and Vets What's Next seems to be that answer. So when it comes to, it seems like you're pretty much a master of execution. You get it done. What are some of the skills that translated well from your military career that you're using right now in your pursuit of, Vets What's Next?
Yeah, great question. I would say the first thing is uh, just get her done. Don't procrastinate. Uh, and this was my mission. So being able to use the skill set that I was able to obtain from the military by being able to use my military decision making process, MDMP, and there's a flow on how you go about putting things in place. And there's also a summarized way of putting things in place and getting things done expeditiously. So being
Mm,
able to understand the MDMP process, being able to put a team together and put out clear and concise guidance of what it is that you want so they can understand once they get up and walk away from the table of how they're going to put this plan together. Because I operate off of there's a plan that will work and there's a plan that might work. I'm the one, I don't want the plan that might work. I want the plan that will work. And if I see that that plan is beginning not to work, then we have a contingency plan. And we will fall back and utilize a contingency plan to stay on course to get the mission done, because there are,
right.
those courses of actions, you know, there's always that one that you will throw away. So you will have the three, that one that you will throw away, and you will have the two that you know that you can execute off of to make things happen. And I use, excuse me, and I use how can I be a service to our veterans, our service members and their families as the plan. That is my mission, serving
Mm,
those who have served our great country. And we can't forget about our families, because they have stood alongside of us and they have served with us. And so even on my
right.
website, there's just a tab just for families, because families, young families who are coming into the military, they don't know what benefits that they even have. And I have one that
Mm,
came from military one source. Um, and that's just what I did. I plug and played. I did my research. My team and I, we did our research, and we vetted what was already out there to bring it all to one hub. We are, to me, I would say we are that one hub for our portal. We are the brain, the nucleus. As I used to be a S3 on the Army side, the operations officer, the OIC of my brigade. And we were the nucleus. We were
mm,
the
mm,
hub. I was in charge of all operations. So in Afghanistan, we executed based off the plans from my brigade commander, his guidance, and we put the plans and operations into place before our soldiers went out onto the battlefield. And that's what we do for Best What's Next. We put a plan in place before we put anything out, as we look at it as a battlefield in a good sense, for people to be able to take what they need, run with it, be successful with it. And as I get people to say, man, I did not know that benefit of that service was available. Thank you.
right.
And I just say, hey, don't thank me. I thank you.
Mm,
Thank you, because of you, you push me to do what I'm doing. And so being able to again obtain those that skill set from the military, and to understand, what that need is and how to fill that need, uh, so everybody can be successful. It is what's making me to, and my team, to be able to excel at this and to be successful in this. And again, it's a nonprofit organization. People can go to the website and donate. As you mentioned earlier, the cool hoodies, they can purchase a cool hoodie and a t-shirt. So yeah, I'm just excited about everything that we're doing and the direction that we're going in. Man, I'm just so excited.
yeah, it is really exciting. So you seem like a really driven person, and I know that you have to get things done on a daily basis. What are some of the routines, the morning routines and things like that you have?
Okay, so the first thing is I get up, I meditate, I pray. That's first and foremost, because I have to continue every day to give my God, my Heavenly Father, my higher power, the thanks. And I have to take a few minutes out to give that to him. Um, so I get up and I do that. I still do PT. My PT is limited due to my mobility, but I still
Hmm.
get up and I do some form of PT so I can maintain my health and continue to be here to be a service because health is important. Um, I get up and I take my son off to school. I have a 20-year-old in college. I have a
Oh,
19-year-old in
wow.
college, and I have a 10-year-old. And um, being able to now be out of the military, my kids are number one priority. And
Hmm.
any and everything that I can do for my children, I go out of my way of doing. And I encourage everybody else who have children to do the same thing. It's a balance, but get it in there. Because after the military, after life, after military, your children, your family are going to be there. So get that time in now. So I take my son to school, and every morning, as well as I pick him up from school. Uh, but then I start, looking at what can I do to improve what it is that I'm doing. Uh, I'm making phone calls. I'm reading. I'm researching. I'm having meetings with various folks,
Hmm.
lunches with various folks. Um, and, when I just don't have anything major going on, I'm relaxing, taking that time to relax and
Right.
just enjoy life. Because when I was in the military, man,
Right.
I mean, being an officer every day it was full speed ahead.
Mm.
Even my team now, it's a couple of my team now, they say, hey, we're not in the military. I said, hey, we're not in the military, but we got to get her done. and,
Right.
and, and so, and that's pretty much my day. Just living and enjoying life and, you know, looking at how can I, feel a need. And so another thing I'm about to start working on that I just thought about real quick, I want to throw out if I can.
Of course.
Do I have time? Okay.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
just the other day, I was taking an Uber ride, and I said to the driver, I said, "Well, hey, do you all offer anything?" Uh, and I hope I'm not, putting the cart in front of the horse. But I said, "You all offer any type of military discounts?" And the driver said, "No, not that I'm aware of." So
Mm.
what I want to do is, if anybody have the connect to the owner of Uber, so I want this to be on the air so everybody can hear. I came up with the idea first because I
Right.
don't see it in action. What I want to do is, even with my mobile app, I want to be able to partner. As I said, we partner with others. I want to partner with Uber and or Lyft, if not both. I want to partner with them
Mm.
that we can insert Uber and Lyft capabilities within my mobile app that a veteran with an ID card, a veteran's a family member can, when they request or want an Uber ride or Lyft ride, they go through Best What's Next mobile app. And they would click on that services for Uber and Lyft. And what it would do is it would give them a military discount for taking advantage for Uber and Lyft services. How do they get that discount? They will be verified through ID.me by utilizing their credentials so
Right.
they can take advantage of that discount. And that would allow Uber and Lyft to give back to those who have served and given so much. And this would be something great for Uber and Lyft to give this discount to our service members and our families.
That is fantastic. That's fantastic. So, as we wrap up here, Eric, what are some of the things that you would tell anybody that's transitioning out? What would you tell them right now if they want to build something big?
Visit www.bestwhat'snext.org and use that as your blueprint to begin your next journey, because there is life after the military. But I would tell you, stay focused, live this good life that we have to live. You are not in this alone. Go and enroll into the VA healthcare system today. If you are transitioning out of the military tomorrow, that day you get out of the military or that next day, go to the VA, your local VA, enroll into the VA healthcare system. Take advantage of your healthcare, your benefits, because you're deserving of them. You shouldn't have to go out and pay for medical insurance if you qualify for insurance through the VA. The VA is just not for senior veterans. The VA is for millennial veterans, Gen X veterans, all those who have served regardless of your age. And once you've done that, and I'm sure and I hope, and if you don't, have a plan. Have a plan, and that plan is that, again, enroll in the VA healthcare system. File for your benefits. Go enroll and register through e-benefits. File a VA claim. If you had done it 180 days prior to transition out of the military, once you get out of the military, do that the following next day. Contact your local county veteran service organization. There's a VSO that is there to assist you with your VA claim. They are accredited through the VA. There are VA representatives. Go through them to help file your claim. Because what I don't want is for you to be out of the military 3, 4, 5 years, and then you go and try to file that claim, and then your claim possibly get denied because there's no lineage to show that the knee injury, back injury, whatever that you sustained or incurred in the military, you can't justify it. You possibly have lost your medical records. So don't get your claim denied. File for your claim today. You may not be feeling hurt today, but later on down the line, that sprained ankle may come up again, and that's something that you incurred in the military. So do that. Continue to be successful. I want to thank you for serving our country. Know that you are thanked. And with that being said, live life, get a career going for yourself, or become an entrepreneur, be your own business owner, be your own boss. You serve, but continue to serve. And just live this life that we have to live. Spend much time as you can with your family, because life is short. Never forget our following, and know that best what's next. Love you. We're here to support you. And anything that you need, come through us. We can direct you to the sources that you need. But I'm confident that what you need is right there on our website. And sign up so you can get the newsletters. You can know about all the upcoming changes, the nuances, the benefits that will be implemented, the mobile app for when it launch. And I just thank everybody. Stay successful, live life, and know that there is life after military.
That's incredible. Well, Eric King, the CEO of Vets What's Next, thank you very much for being on the Nice Tale podcast. Hope you have a good day.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. New York, keep it going. I love New York. I'm going to have to get out there and visit with you.
Hey, can't wait.
All right. Take care, brother.
All right. You too. Bye.
Bye.